afternoon, I'm Conor Finn, and this is Campus View on Buckeye TV. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Valentine's Day and spring break are right around the corner, and of course, we have all the latest Taylor Swift updates as we prepare for the upcoming Super Bowl. But first, we've got some hot takes to unpack. But before that, let's meet our guests.
Hi, I'm Hayden Moncada, fourth year in Strategic Communications.
I'm Cameron Wechter, and I'm a third year in theater.
I'm Avi Schoenberg. I'm a first year. My major is sport industry.
Well, thank you guys for joining me today. And why don't we just hop right into it and talk about some of our most interesting hot takes on campus that we see today. Hayden, let's start with you.
I don't think Bulls is the worst bar on campus.
Let's hop into that. Why do you not think that's the worst bar?
You know, it has a vibe, it has a feeling, everyone's rooting against it. And I personally believe that makes it charming, it makes it endearing, it's having a comeback. You know, I think there are some that are honestly inferior in just the fact that they're purely mediocre. That's my personal opinion.
And Hayden, what makes you think that people don't like Bulls as a bar?
Excellent question. I think it's, the aesthetic. I think it's the people. I think it's the beverages served. I think it's essentially everything surrounding the bar. But I don't think people are comparing it appropriately.
Interesting. That's a very interesting take. And Cameron, we'll jump to you. What's some of your hot takes?
The Target on High Street is just not a great place to go shopping. Since it's such a small location, it seems like they have nothing that I actually need for groceries and stuff. And I've noticed that they are quite overpriced compared to other Target locations. I prefer to go to the one on Owen Tangi.
So when you want to go shopping to somewhere and you don't want to drive, is there anywhere else on High Street you would recommend for our viewers?
I wouldn't say it's not directly on High Street, but there is the Kroger's. I think it's on 5th. It's more farther down on High Street. It's a much better and cheaper place to get your groceries.
And Avi, we'll jump to you.
I gotta say, you know what? The South Chipotle is better than the North Chipotle. They give bigger portions and just overall they're more friendly. I feel like the South.
Got a little disagreement here?
I don't know if it's bad. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been there. It was used to be my stomping grounds. But I will say there's one guy that always gives me double steak without charging at the North Chipotle.
But there's someone in South Chipotle that doesn't charge me for guac. So I mean.
Oh.
Sounds like you guys have to have connections.
You got the inside scoop.
I mean.
Exactly. Well, yeah, scoop of
literally.
Guacamole.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And Avi, is that just all? Or do you like the scenery in there? Is it closer to where you live?
You know, I will say the South is closer to where I live. I live in one of the South dorms, but just in general, I feel like it's friendlier, it's more welcoming, and that's my Chipotle.
I can agree with that. It does feel like you're constantly in a rush. Everyone doesn't want to be at the North Chipotle.
Yeah.
They're always rushing through, and I get scared.
Hayden, I want to go back to you real quick.
Please do.
What's a bar that you would say is maybe on the decline?
Connor, thank you so much for asking this question. I fully believe that library is on the down low because everyone's hearing about it. Oh, it's let's go to the library, let's check it out. But in all honesty, the line's always out the door, and let me tell you, it gets steamy in there. It's like you're at the RPAC pool. So in all honesty, I think library is going downhill. I think it's becoming, the next threes. You know what I think is underrated? Don't laugh. Fives. You can rent a basketball. Let's zoom in. You can rent a basketball, and you can play hoops. You can play hoops at the bar. I'm going to be the next LeBron because of my ability to multitask.
Well, I mean, when I look into your interests and I see what you make just from hearing that,
yes,
it sounds like you like a little bit more space when you go out with your friends to a bar on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a dancer? Do you enjoy dancing?
Connor, I've been waiting for a vehicle to answer this question. The correct answer is yes. I like to dance, and preferably I would just be in an open field, but you don't get that in Columbus. So I think these areas with less population density, serve my needs better when I'm going out at night. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Cameron?
Well, I have not turned 21 yet, so I have not been able to go to bars, but my roommate actually works at Threes, and he can agree that Fives is better. So, yeah, I guess just from others' opinions.
Avi, what about you? Do you like to dance?
Big dancer. Unfortunately, not 21 yet, so I'm not able to go to these bars. But outside of that, yeah, just bust a quick dance move, and I'm a dancer.
Connor, what about you?
I more like to just like watch TV, enjoy a game. So I enjoy library. I am 21, so I do like going there with my friends. But no, not as probably as good of a dancer as you, Hayden.
No, I don't. Please, let's kings support kings. I fully believe that you are just as good of a dancer as me,
All right.
and we'll find out.
All right, maybe next.
Not during this show.
What's your favorite dance move? Can you do it sitting down right here?
Can I do it? Well, I'm a very mobile dancer. That's why I prefer open space. I like to do the running man. That's my big thing because that's the one thing I can do. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if the mic picked that up, but that my heart just exploded. So.
Yeah. And do your friends like enjoy your dance moves, or do they? Tell you
No,
to
they
stop?
leave immediately.
Oh, and why is that?
They're jealous.
They're jealous. Some might say they're not my friends actually to begin with. And I'm very physical, so I demand a lot of space.
Okay.
They're probably intimidated by your moves.
That's what I'm saying. Every group has one alpha. We all know that. And sometimes everyone else just gets intimidated.
Interesting take. I will say that is a hot take. And Cameron, I want to go back to you. Like when you're in Target, what are some of the overpriced things that you find that you stay away from?
Honestly, a lot of the fresh produce, which is, I don't know, when I do most of my groceries at a Walmart or a Kroger's, and let's say for example I want an avocado at a Walmart or something, they're 50 cents. At the Target they're $1.30, and I don't know if it's because they're organic, but I don't really care, so I just think that's too much. They just it's mostly their fruit, their food, and their clothes too are most definitely overpriced compared to other places.
And as a college student, what are some ways that students can, maybe balance their spending and have cheaper groceries when they go out?
I would say maybe try not to impulse buy. I know it's definitely hard to do that, but I guess just plan for that week specifically on groceries and then just go from there. And
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for the amazing hot takes. And after the break, we're going to be talking about there are some pros and some cons to Valentine's Day, and what are some good gift ideas to give your partner. Welcome back to Campus View on Buckeye TV. Before we get on into all the Valentine's Day talk, we got a trio of new guests for you here now. Guys, would you mind introducing yourselves?
I'm Avery Caudill. I'm a third-year journalism major, and my hometown is Pataskala, Ohio.
I'm Krista Willis. I am a fourth year in journalism, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm Honor Lackey. I'm a third year in journalism, and I'm from Plain City, Ohio.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining me today. And we're going to start off with a general question. What does everyone think about Valentine's Day?
I personally love Valentine's Day, and I think it gets a bad rap. So you can be about your friends. It doesn't have to be about relationships. Like me and my friends, we're having a Galentine's Day party at my house and ordering chocolate-covered strawberries from Edible Arrangements and having a little movie night, and it'll be so fun.
I think it's a cute holiday. It's a little bit cheesy. Some people have been taking it over the top recently. I do have plans with my boyfriend, but I also do love the Galentine's idea, so I am hoping to do something with them as well.
I love Valentine's Day. I'm also having a Galentine's Day situation. Me and my roommates are doing, instead of a Secret Santa, a Secret Valentine's gift exchange. So I'm kind of excited to see what they get me.
Sounds like this Galentine's Day is a hit. What's like a great gift idea, and maybe if you have one, a bad gift idea for your boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other?
Sure. Yeah. So for me, I'm only getting gifts for the gals. So, no boyfriend here. But, For girls, I would say, steer away from like the Claire's type $2 jewelry. We aren't gonna wear it. And it's just kind of pointless at that point. I would say like flowers and stuff like that are timeless and work every time. Or like for the girls, get some pajama sets that are all matching and sit around and kind of do that. It's always a good idea. And just chocolate food, you can never go wrong with edible stuff. So
No doubt.
I also think food, chocolate is a good idea. I like getting gifts that are like, that you can keep using. That's not like Valentine's Day themed. I don't think you can do a lot throughout the year with heart-shaped things. So definitely stuff that people can use throughout the year.
I am a firm believer in a funny gift, especially if you're getting them for friends. So I'll probably be getting something probably a little bit silly for mine.
And it seems like Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so it's very exciting for some people, a little sad for others. How do maybe someone who's feeling a little lonely deal with it, other than maybe just getting with the gals?
I think we're all at the age where we know what Tinder is, and you can use it. And I mean, it's an option, I'm just saying, and so, if you want to go that route, that's great. Or I know a lot of the bars and restaurants around campus, they usually have something going on for Valentine's Day. If you just want to go out and socialize, all the single people will be out, and that's fine. And chase the blues away. Don't sit in your room and watch Notebook and cry yourself to sleep. I mean, that would be my recommendation.
You don't have, if you have a significant other, of course you can get them a gift, but also just getting your friends a cute gift. And even sometimes my mom would give me a gift, and I think that's pretty fun.
I think that that's really cute. And I think that if you don't want to go to the Valentine's Day route, you should spoil yourself and get yourself a little gift. Maybe create a movie night for yourself. If you're 21, get a bottle of wine. Just make the night about you.
No doubt. So another exciting topic coming up for students at Ohio State is spring break in March. Where does everyone have spring break plans? Let's start.
I don't have any plans, but all of my friends do. So I will be probably going home, which is never a bad thing, and probably meeting up with people from my hometown, and we'll all sit and watch movies and catch up. So, which is never super bad to do, and catch up with the old friends. So that's my plans.
I'm actually going to Disney World for spring break this year with my mom, my sister, and my niece, who's turning 3 years old. Last year I went to Miami with 20 of my friends, and we all stayed in an Airbnb, which was hectic, and I told myself I'm never going to Florida again with that many people. And I also wasn't 21, so it wasn't a super fun trip. So I'm definitely excited to stay with the family this time.
I'm going to Florida this year, but with only 4 of my friends, so it should be maybe a little bit calmer, but I'm excited because it'll be the first trip I do with my friends for spring break instead of just going home.
That's exciting. And what are, there's a lot of dangers out there. What are ways students can stay safe when traveling for spring break and being responsible?
Definitely Ubers and Lyfts, you have to take advantage of that. And having a buddy system, you cannot lose your friends when you go out, especially if you're in a city that you're not used to. It can get pretty creepy.
And when students are traveling and they're going with their friends, is it better to just be in a big group or just go with a friend or two? What do you guys prefer?
I prefer a smaller group, but people that you can kind of trade shifts driving the way down to wherever you're going. That way you can split the gas money too.
I'd say also a smaller group. I think when we all went as a big group, we all ended up in smaller groups regardless.
I think that big groups, if you're having the big night out on in the city, I think that can always be a good thing just initially, because as you said, you do end up in smaller groups, and going out that big group kind of says you're going to end up with someone no matter what. It's not a small group and then they kind of deviate and then you're by yourself. So I think big groups can be good for the initial start of the night, and then end up with smaller.
And when you're going to maybe an expensive location, like we talked about in the last segment, it's important for students to save money and choose cheaper options. What are some ways maybe students can save money when they're in like Miami or New York, let's say?
I would say going to the grocery store. You can't really eat out like for every meal. It just adds up so quickly. Other than that, everything's just expensive these days, so you're gonna have to save up a lot of money regardless.
Start saving early for spring break. So we started planning and saving for our trip like last month, just because we knew that we were gonna have to factor it into like our rent expenses, utilities, stuff like that. Just stuff to make it a little bit less stressful when it's coming nearer.
Yeah, I would also say set a set pricing for your group and make sure everybody kind of sticks to that and kind of say like, hey, this is how much we're putting towards groceries, this is how much we're putting towards going out, this is how much the place we're staying, Airbnb, whatever it may be, cost, and kind of set that like kind of budgeting beforehand.
And when coming back to campus, it can be very hard for students to get back in the mix. The finals are starting to approach. How do you recommend like students just get their mind off vacation mode and back into the grind?
You definitely got to come back like at least the weekend before. If you come back the day before, I know it's really difficult, like being in the sun and then coming back to Ohio.
You got to give yourself time to adjust.
Yeah, I would definitely look at your syllabus beforehand and kind of like say, okay, when I come back, do I need to get immediately back into it? What's my rest period time here? And kind of time that out. So that's what I would recommend.
Well, guys, thank you for joining me today. It was very fun talking Valentine's Day and spring break with you guys, and I hope everyone's going to be safe for both. And thank you all for joining me today. And when we come back, we'll be talking about a little bit of Taylor Swift, a little bit of Super Bowl, and after the break. Thank you. Welcome back to Campus View on Buckeye TV. Our last topic of the day is Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl. But let's meet the last three guests.
Hi, I'm Caleb Blake. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, a fourth-year journalism major.
Hi, I'm Camille Maisonbourg. I'm from France, and I'm majoring in third year in political sciences.
Hi, I'm Maya Peterson, a third year in international studies.
Well, look, guys, let's jump right into it. I think we should first start off with Taylor Swift. Caleb, what are your thoughts on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship and her being a big presence in the NFL playoffs so far?
Look, I'll be honest, a little bit of a Swiftie. I mean, I like to dabble in, more of a 1989 guy myself, but I can't go super deep into the discography. But, I'm happy for the relationship. I mean, Travis Kelce, he's from Cleveland Heights. I'm also from Cleveland Heights, so got to root for, just wins in Cleveland all around. So yeah, I'm totally a fan. I'm all here for all of, seeing Taylor celebrate with the family, and it's it adds a fun extra element to the game.
Cami, what are your thoughts?
I think they are like an iconic couple, and what's interesting is that they are both stars, but we don't say like Taylor Swift is Kelsey's girlfriend, and like they all have their independence and they succeed in their own field. So that's interesting.
I think they're really cute. They're like a cute little power couple. And it's kind of cliche, but it's like, it makes sense.
No doubt. And Kimmy, I gotta ask, did you know about Taylor Swift and or Travis Kelce when you lived in France?
Not Travis Kelce, but Taylor Swift definitely. Like that's not the same thing than in the US, but we hear the song.
What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Shake It Off, maybe. I don't know, the classic.
Valid. I'm a style guy myself. I mean, hey, I'll keep it with the 1989 vibe, but.
Okay. Into the Woods. That's good.
Okay. Wildest Dreams, Low-Key Sleeper. Am I crazy for saying that?
No.
Okay. Sweet.
This might be a long shot, but I think everyone's kind of wondering if Taylor Swift does make it to the Super Bowl. Do you think she makes an appearance in that halftime show with Usher? Caleb, we'll start with you.
I mean, I would love to see it. I'd love to know what the betting odds are on that also. I mean, it'd be a miracle. She's got like a show in Tokyo or something the day before, right? I mean, the fact that she even is like dedicated enough to just try and get there is commendable, like that's hats off to her. But yeah, during the halftime show though, I'm not going to keep my hopes up for seeing her out there. But it would be sweet. It would be sick.
It would.
Yeah, it would be very sweet and very crazy, like flying from Japan to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, it would be cute, but Usher definitely needs his moment. It's been his year pretty much. He was in Vegas a lot last year.
Mhm.
It was a lot, and he went viral on TikTok again.
Would you call yourself a bigger Usher fan than a Taylor Swift
Absolutely.
fan? Okay. What about you guys?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, I have to give credit where credit's due. Usher has some classics that like are just undisputably great music, but I don't know. Like in terms of the replay value, I'm just not always going back and throwing him into the playlist. You know, like I feel like it's got to fit like a certain throwback kind of vibe, or like.
Yeah, but like also Justin Bieber, like he pretty much created Justin Bieber.
You think so?
Yeah, he
So
was
you look at
like
him
always
as a-
with Justin Bieber.
As a talent producer, almost like.
Yeah.
I mean, what music would you prefer though? Would you prefer like Usher R&B, or would you prefer like Taylor Swift like pop country?
Early Taylor Swift, but also like Usher just he does it for me.
Kenny, what's your favorite kind of music genre?
Honestly, I thought that Usher was kind of old-fashioned. Like for me, it's like the 20s. So I would say that I thought that it's maybe more like Taylor Swift that would perform because it's more like actual, and we talk a lot about Taylor Swift. But yeah, Usher has cool songs too. So
I gotta add, it's like, don't get me wrong, Usher is great, but it's really hard to come back from Rihanna. I mean, like how can you expect him to like top that performance? Like,
That is true.
I mean, it's a hard fall from grace. It's a hard fall from grace.
That is well, yeah, but you also have to look at the demographic of like the football people. It's like middle-aged people. That was
Okay.
their prime.
I guess I didn't really consider like I was kind of selfishly
Yeah.
thinking that.
I feel like
I'll be a little more open-minded going forward. I'll be a little more open-minded.
Glad.
I feel like we're back into the hot take segment. Caleb, why don't we hop into football a little bit? Who do you expect to win? Do you predict the 49ers or the Chiefs?
I am predicting the 49ers will win. I also am predicting Christian McCaffrey to win Super Bowl MVP. I think that he's been the most impactful player in the NFL this season, to be honest. I know that the MVP talk is probably going to go to like a quarterback or Lamar or one of those guys. But I mean, regardless of what happens, I mean, Christian McCaffrey is just every year he's unstoppable. Like still, no one has been able to figure it out. I don't think the Chiefs defense will be able to figure it out, even though they have kind of gotten hot at the right time. But the Niners have been the best team in football, I believe, all year. And my mom is also a Niners fan herself, so I kind of have a little bit of bias there. But
McCaffrey's been blowing my mind since he was at Stanford. What about him makes him such an impressive running back?
I mean, it's really just the vision, and also like I feel like he has such underrated power. You know, like he'll run through guys. I mean, even the game last week, he had a stiff arm, where you're just like you don't necessarily expect him to have that much like punch behind him because he's so quick and so fast and can get to the outside, but. I mean, he really can just do it all for them. And you can do it in the run game and the receiving game. Then you've also got so many other, and not to stray away from him, but it's like you got Deebo Samuel, you got George Kittle, you got all these weapons and guys that Brock Purdy can go to. I mean, the Niners are just they're unbelievably loaded.
Thank you, man. I know we might not be as familiar with football, but
definitely not.
what do you know about like the American sport? Do you watch the Super Bowl growing up, or are you knowledgeable
I
about it?
never watched the Super Bowl because it's not the same time zone, but I always watch like some extra of like the halftime and the show. But I don't know many things about American football. I've been to one game and I was only like cheering, but yeah.
What was that experience, and where was it when you went to football?
That was at OSU, so the experience was really crazy. Like that's so crazy how many people just believe in football and are reunited by this sport, and the atmosphere is kind of crazy.
And have you been to a football or soccer game in France?
Yes, a little bit.
How do you compare the two?
That's kind of the same thing and not like when we lost like the Michigan game, everybody was just like so mad in the street. And in France, we are like in the same atmosphere when we lose like the World Cup, but not like the Ligue 1, for example, and like national championship. So that's, yeah, American people are really more into football.
Man, did you grow up watching football?
Yeah. I just based everything off of like colors, the colors I like the most. So like, yeah.
So, Caleb, I'm going to go back to you real quick. I understand. But the Chiefs, do you see them as an underdog in this game?
I would say so. Not by much. I mean, it's really hard to bet against a guy like Patrick Mahomes, a duo like him and Kelsey, and they've got Chris Jones and a lot of great guys on the defense as well. But I don't know. There's just something about this Niners team that feels like they're cooking, especially with the defense. And I believe it was 2-3 years ago. I mean, they literally had this exact same matchup just with Jimmy G. But now, you're running it back, and I just feel like they have so much. There's so many things moving in San Francisco's direction right now that it'll definitely just be tough for the Chiefs to overcome.
I'm going to have you guys make a quick prediction like Caleb. Niners or Chiefs, if you had to pick one.
Chiefs?
Yeah, they have the cutest colors.
All right, there you have it. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you guys for joining us on Buckeye TV. We'll see you next week.